Hey guys, so in this video we're going to update our header and footer section. So let's go ahead and get back into our Rails project. Just in case you shut down your computer from the last video, I'm going to go through the steps really quickly on how to get back into your Rails app. So first, of course, you're going to CD into your desktop and then CD into your landing page or landing. Now for the sake of this video, I'm just going to keep my Rails server running, so let's go ahead and type in Rails S. Let's go down to Views, Pages, Index.html.erb. And just to make everything a little easier, we're going to collapse all the sections except for header. Now the header section here, once we refresh our page, it's a black navigation bar at the top, and for me it's unnecessary. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that section there. So just clicking from line 15 all the way down to the end of the header, just go ahead and delete that. Now let's open up our navigation bar. Now we can change the name of Awesome, of course, to Your Business Page. If you just want text, that's fine. Go ahead and refresh your browser and you can see the updated changes there. But I actually want to add my logo. So I'm going to change the entire line. I'm going to use a block code. Although this is a landing page and not a multi-page website, this particular code will not function as it normally should, which is to bring you back to your designated home page, which is the root path. However, it's good to get in the habit of getting used to these particular block codes plus the link to paths, because we'll be using these quite often in Rails. I'm not going to get into depth of what Ruby blocks are and how they work in this tutorial because we won't be using them outside of here, and it'll be too complicated if I start with the techie language without showing you how they actually function. Next to the image tag, the name within the parentheses is the name and the extension of your picture. So in my case, my picture's name is logo and I'm using the JPEG extension. You can use any extension, PNG, JPEG, whatever you feel like using. I typically use between JPEG, JPG, or PNG, just to make it a little more simple. And I try to name my pictures accordingly so it's not too complicated for me to type out long names within my codes. But just a little tidbit. If you do use a block code, make sure that you always end it by putting end. For me, the way that I remember if this is a block code or not, the letters are a lilac color. So if I see a lilac do or if or whatever block code I'm using, I have to make sure I look for an end. If not, you'll see an error message similar to what we see here. That means you didn't end your block code. So just go back and put that code there, save, refresh, and you see it's working. Now, my logo isn't where it's supposed to be because I did not drag it into my app. So we're going to do that now. Now it's fresh and you see my logo is there, but it's not sitting exactly how I want it to sit. So let's go back to the style sheets and we will change that. So heading down to template mo-style.css, we're going to scroll all the way down to, first we're going to take away the header because we deleted that in our index.html.erb, so we don't need that anymore. So let's go down to the nav bar, and we're going to go to the nav bar default nav bar brand and change the padding just a bit. So I use 10 pixels. You can use 12 to make everything equal, but I like 10. You can't really see the huge difference between the 2 pixels. Now it's perfectly padded. Now we're going to do something about the menu in the nav bar. Now let's go back to index.html.erb, and I'm only going to have home, about, service, and contact. So I'm taking off team and portfolio because it's unnecessary for me with my particular landing page. So now I'm going to look at the colors. Because my logo doesn't have blue in there, I want to make this landing page a little more cohesive to my brand. So because I'm not an expert with the color codes, I cheat and use Photoshop to help me out with that. And because I want the colors to match my logo colors, I'm just going to go ahead and open up my logo in Photoshop and get the color code and paste that into my Rails app. So right now I'm changing the home, or I should say the color that will highlight the section that you're currently on. So when you refresh, you see that the highlighted sections are now one of the colors of my logo. Now if you don't have Photoshop, you can Google either color codes or color hash codes and go to htmlcolorcodes.com, and that will show you the color codes that you need. So you can play around with it as well, move the bar around to get the color that you're fond of particularly, and use that color code in your app. So as an example, just playing around here, I'm going to use this particular color code and put that into my app just to show you how it works. Okay, and you see it works. I'm just going to change it back to my original code. Now we're going to deal with the footer. Now close the nav bar section and scroll down to your footer. We're going to change the copyright year and name to the year that we're in now and the name of your business. Save and refresh your browser. And you can see copyright 2018 Cpreneur. Every year you want to update this little tidbit if you want. So everything is working correctly. In the next video, we're going to tackle the home area. We're going to update and change the color there. So see you in the next video.